In this lecture, let us understand what is buffer. We have seen stream is nothing but it is a sequence of data that is moved from one place to another over time. So basically, stream is nothing but data in motion. But now the question is how exactly that sequence of data is moved from one place to another. So the sequence of data can be moved using the concept of buffer. To understand buffer, let us see one simple analogy so that you will have clear idea what is buffer and also how the sequence of data is moved. Imagine you are at the bus station where we are having bus, and this bus is going to transport people to their specific destination. So inside this analogy, bus is going to represent the system and people is going to represent the data, and then finally we are having the destination where data has to be sent. Now let us see two scenarios. In our bus we are having 20 seats. Now what happened? 50 people arrived. In this case, 20 people are going to occupy the seat and 30 people have to wait in the queue. So inside the bus, how many seats we are having? Only that number of people can occupy the seat, and the extra people who have arrived, they have to wait in the queue. So in this scenario, 30 people has to wait in the queue. Now coming to second scenario, now what happened? Only 6 people have arrived. So in this case, still 14 people have to occupy the seat. So in this case, bus is not going to move until all the people arrive and all the seats are occupied. So in this first scenario, what happened? Extra people have arrived. So that extra people have to wait in the queue. But in this second scenario, we are having only few people. So bus is not going to move unless and until all the people arrive. So now, very important, make a note. So driver cannot control this, how many people will be arriving at the station. Driver can only decide when is the right time to drive the bus. If the people are already occupied, driver can easily drive the bus. If the people are not occupied, driver has to wait until all the people arrive and occupy the seats. So driver can only decide when is the right time to drive the bus. So now the area where people are waiting is nothing but buffer. So in first scenario, 30 people are waiting in the queue. So that waiting area is called as buffer. Now coming to Node.js, if there is too much data at once, the system can't process it and extra data has to wait in buffer. And if the system does not have enough data, it will wait for more data to arrive before it starts processing. So buffer is like the waiting area where people or data wait until the bus or system is ready to handle them and take them to their specific destination. So here also, Node.js cannot control the pace at which the data arrives in the stream. It can only decide when is the right time to send the data for processing. If there is data already being processed or too little data to process, Node is going to put that arriving data in a buffer. And intentionally, Node is going to maintain very small area in the runtime to process stream of data. Now more real world example could be if you're watching video on YouTube and if your internet is very fast, then stream is going to send the data very quickly so that it can fill the buffer and then it can start processing it. And this entire process will be repeating until all the data is sent. But if you're watching the video and your connection is slow, the video player will process the first chunk of data which it has received. After that, it is just going to show a loading spinner to indicate it is waiting for more data to arrive. Okay, you can just consider the second scenario. It is just waiting for more data to arrive. And once entire buffer is full, the data is processed and the video player starts playing the video. And as the video plays, more data keeps coming in the background and it will be waiting in the buffer until it is ready to process. I hope using this analogy and using this example, you are clear what is buffer. Practically, let us see buffer. Here inside this folder, I will be creating one file buffer.js. In Node.js, we are going to have this buffer feature as a global feature. So we don't have to import it. Directly, we can start with buffer. Here I will be writing new. Inside this, I will be passing buffer. Then here I will be adding this from method. Inside this, I will be passing the string khanam. And this entire value, I'm just going to assign to this variable buffer. And inside this, we can also pass the second argument, that is encoding UTF-8. But by default, we will have this. So I'm just going to remove. Below this, I will write log. Simply, I'm just going to display buffer. And on this, I will apply this to JSON method. Okay, when we see the output, you will understand why we are using this method. I will open terminal. I'm just going to run this buffer.js. Hit enter. Now inside this, I am having object where type is nothing but buffer, which is the global feature provided in Node.js. And then inside this data, here I am having array, and inside that I am having some numbers. And if you just go to the previous videos where we have seen about binary data, character set, there for character K, we had the number 107 as Unicode character code. So here for each and every character, whatever Unicode character code we are having, that is represented inside this array. So using this toJSON method, we are going to have object inside which we will have type buffer, and inside this data, we are going to have character code for each and every character. But now directly, I'm just going to log buffer, save it, I will run. Now if you see for this toJSON, I am having character code for each and every character. But when I only log buffer, inside this buffer, I am having some data 6B6861, and this buffer is going to contain raw binary data. But in our lecture, we have already understood when data is represented in binary format, it will only have zeros and ones. Now you might think this is not binary representation and whatever result we got, that is wrong. And this data cannot be understood by a computer. Might be you are right, but here what happens whenever we are displaying the data, it will display in hexadecimal, that is base 16 notation of the number. If I just print binary digit for each and every character, then here entire terminal will be flooded out. So that is the reason whenever we are displaying the result, that will be displayed in hexadecimal or base 16 notation. Practically, let me show you. Here for character K, hexadecimal value is 6B. Here I am just going to search for hexadecimal converter. Click on this first link, and what value I got? I got value as 6B. I will click on convert. You can see what decimal number I got. I got 107, which is equal to character K, and this is the binary representation. So whatever result we got in terminal, it will display in hexadecimal or base 16. If I just search for 6E, and for this my result should be 104, and for that character is nothing but H. So we have to write 68. I will remove this. I will write 68. Click on this. Now you can see decimal is 104. And here binary representation will be displayed for 104. I hope now you understood why this data is displayed. Now, whatever data I'm having, that exact data, if I just want to display, then I will just log this buffer. Below this, I will be writing dot toString, save it, run this. Now again, you can see now whatever data I have passed inside the buffer, now in my buffer, I am having only column. Now if I just want to see whatever data I am having inside the buffer, we simply have to use this toString method and we will have this result. So now in my buffer, I am having this 6 character. If I just add extra characters, I will be writing to add extra character, we will be using write method. Inside this, I will be passing code. Now again, I'm going to run this application. Now you can see what happens. These 4 characters will be overridden, and in place of that, I will be having this code. And after that, I will be having this AM. So whatever character code we will have for C, that will be displayed, followed by O, followed by D, followed by E, and after that for A and M. And this is happening because, as I mentioned, Node.js is going to maintain limited space. So buffers will be having limited memory. So that is the reason 4 characters are overridden by these 4 characters which I have given. Let me tell you, Node.js internally uses buffer and directly we don't have to work with buffer. But this entire thing might be now you are understanding in streams how the data is moved in FS module, what happens when we are reading the data. But now using this concept, you will understand in real world how the data is moved from one place to another. So interview questions can be, what is the primary difference between streams and buffers? How does buffer help in managing data transfer? And also give an example of stream usage in daily technology. Just practice this entire section. In this, we have seen what is binary data, what is character set, what is character encoding, different types of encoding. We have seen what are streams and different types of streams. And also, practically, we have understood how to read and write data using streams, and on that, we have also seen how to use pipe method. And finally, we have understood buffer.